Welcome to the SEC Unfiltered platform. I am your host, Dave Shumate from Mach 10 Sports. Once again, it's our last one, the last ceiling floor for all 8 teams in the NCAA Tournament. Going out west, the 8 seed, the Mississippi State Bulldogs, back-to-back years ago in the NCAA Tournament for Chris Jans in his first 2 years. Last year, they were in the play-in game, lost that heartbreaker. This year, they opened up a traditional blue blood with Michigan State, the Spartans, and Hall of Fame coach Tom Izzo. But let's get right to it. I'm going to give you the ceiling floor. Let me share that bracket with you right here. It is, so we got Mississippi State out west, the 8-9 matchup, the 1 seed North Carolina, 2 seed Arizona, 3 seed Baylor, 4 seed Alabama. So ceiling wise here, I think Mississippi State could get by Michigan State, certainly. They're afraid last time I checked, they were just, it was about a pickle last time I saw. They got a score, it can go match Walker, and you got Hogard as well. Interesting part will be, how does Tom Izzo decide to defend Josh Hubbard? Mississippi State can certainly win this game. So from a ceiling standpoint, let's say they get by that. I actually think they're a decent matchup against North Carolina. Call me crazy, but I think they got the front court bodies to go throw at Armando Bacot. Mississippi State would have to play their best game of the year, something similar to the Tennessee game this past Friday. It would have to be very similar, very similar. So we've seen they're capable of doing it. It has to be replicated. But let's just say they beat North Carolina, not out of this realm. Just depending what happens underneath them here. Is it Alabama they're facing for a third time? Potentially Charleston, 5 seed St. Mary's from the Western Athletic Conference, and then Grand Canyon, the Lopes. Let's just say it's the highest seed. Let's just go highest seed, Alabama here. That's the third time Mississippi State would be playing Alabama. Lost a close one in Starkville, I think third SEC game of the season. And then they got blown out in Tuscaloosa in early February. Thursday, it's tough to beat anyone for a third time. So would it be outside the realm? I think Mississippi State could beat Alabama. Both Mississippi State and Alabama probably feel pretty good about that matchup. If you told them they were in the Sweet 16 in Los Angeles in the West region, and they both just have to beat one another, you talk to Chris Jans or Nate Oates to get to the Elite 8, they're both taking that. Even Mississippi State would lose into Alabama. So let's say Mississippi State wins that game. I mean, Alabama has front court issues. Wouldn't be shocking. They lost a close one to Starkville on a neutral floor. Who knows? They could win that, but that's where I see it stopping. If it got to Arizona or Baylor, I think Mississippi State would essentially run out of gas there. I don't see them consistently playing good basketball or good enough basketball for 4 straight trips to get to a Final Four. So some people may think my ceiling initially right here getting the Elite 8 is crazy, but it's really more so the committee gave them good matchups, whether the committee knew that going into it or not. They gave them pretty solid matchups. Michigan State, I think they match up well with. Josh Hubbard's the difference this year, guys. He's a scorer. He's a bucket getter. He can make tough shots. And in the tournament, it's a guard-led tournament. You're going to need some guys that can make shots. And that's where Mississippi State faltered last year, I think. But again, if Hubbard keeps playing like he did in the SEC tournament, look out. Then I think they have the front court to match up with North Carolina. They get Alabama again, or a team like St. Mary's. I think Mississippi State matches up well with both. Again, tough for Alabama to go beat a solid Mississippi State team 3 times. 3 times, especially once on the road and once on a neutral court. They'd just be asking a lot. Both would feel good about that. Then they'd run up. Floor, though, Michigan State could definitely beat Mississippi State for sure. I'll be interested to see how Izzo decides to guard Hubbard. It will be interesting. Does he put Hogard on him? That will be interesting from our perspective, from that perspective. So that wouldn't be shocking for us to be talking here on Saturday, Sunday, kind of talk about, man, Michigan State had a hell of a game plan to stop Hubbard there. I mean, Mississippi State kind of looked like they were really struggling from outside. They were getting nothing else from either like Murphy or Moore either. And then Tolu Smith is what it is. But overall, though, Mississippi State, you can't feel too bad. I really do like the draw here from Mississippi State, if I'm being completely honest here. So don't be shocked. Again, people, I'm sure in the comments are like, Mississippi State, Elite 8, what are you talking about? Look at the matchups. What do we know here, people? The NCAA tournament here, March Madness here, it's all about matchups. I think Mississippi State got some favorable ones. I really do. Not saying it's going to happen, but it wouldn't shock me here. But again, at the same time, they're in the first round. They're about to go face a Hall of Fame coach who has done damage in the tournament, has a bucket getter himself and Tyson Walker, and they have a guy as well, Hogard, that can make some shots and defend as well on the outside. So again, I think Mississippi State's ceiling is the Elite 8 due to matchups. I think the floor can never guarantee anything against Tom Izzo. But again, I appreciate you joining us on this segment of the SEC Filter, of the SEC Unfiltered platform. We're SEC content all the time. 24/7, 365. We're talking college basketball all week. We're going to have tons of content for March Madness. SEC baseball heading into their second weekend of conference play is a phenomenal opening weekend. Then we got spring ball. Missouri's already wrapped up, already had their spring game, and most teams will be wrapping up the rest of the month. But again, I am your host, Dave Shumate from Mach 10 Sports. I appreciate you joining us on this segment. You have a fantastic day.